Thanks, Grayson, for that report. Nathaniel Finch back up here with Giselle Valentin. We've got a great matchup in front of us. Looking forward to what this game has in store for us as we see just some of the numbers here for the Greyhounds, shooting 46%. That's a pretty good number, I'd say. You could say it's it's top 5 in the conference. Right there behind him is Rockhurst at 42. 3-point percentage also up there pretty high. The Greyhounds have number 2 in the GLVC when it comes to 3-point percentage. Rebounding pretty tight. I think that's going to be a key today, is getting good rebounds.
Definitely getting those rebounds for sure. Rockhurst only 3-4 this season, so they've been kind of struggling a little bit, while Indianapolis has been 6-1. It's going to be a really interesting matchup to see what both of these teams can do, and especially the man you mentioned earlier, Rich Breyer, who leads the GLVC in all scoring and has a good rebound percentage as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what will happen here, Nathaniel.
Greyhounds starting 5, Bruno Williams out there at guard with Josiah Tynes and Jesse Bingham. And then your forward pairing, Kendrick Cho's about to jump, and Jacoby Robinson. For the Hawks, the jump is going to be Byer, the team's best player. You'll hear his name plenty today. Nick Arsenberg also out there starting. Jake Auer. We get this game underway. Good defense. Greyhounds have the best in the conference. They're doing a good job limiting Rockhurst right now. No open looks in the block, out of bounds. How about that, Giselle? This Greyhounds team has such a lethal defense.
Great defense from the Greyhounds. It really shows how defensive they are. They put a lot of pressure on their opponents, and they just did that right here as they were pretty hot on them.
Here's the Greyhounds' first look on offense. It's Tynes. Nice little three, but he can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Jihad Thornton.
Josiah Tynes' three-pointer just a little too strong. Instead of trying to really slow down the play, he just kind of forced up the shot just a little bit.
All right, here's the first time we get to see Rich Byer go to work, and he gets fouled on his way to the basket, so we'll see him at the free throw line. He's being worked on there by Kendrick Cho, and he got the best of him. Byer, oh yeah, he can also shoot very well from the free throw line, 84% so far this season. He does it all.
He does it all, and that's one of the things he does a lot, especially when we'll see in this game. He tries to get his opponents to draw those fouls on him so he can go to the free throw line and get these easy points for his Rockhurst Hawks, as he was able to knock that first free throw down.
An early substitution. That's David Eja who comes in, and boy, has he had a day. You heard Grayson say against William Jewell, came in with 13 points, 2 assists, and those 3 blocks. He's really coming onto his own off the bench, and he's our 6th man.
David Eja, not really much of an offensive player, as he only averages about 6 points. But as you mentioned, his last game was pretty amazing, and it just shows the testament of what he can do on the defensive side and how much of a help he is coming off the bench for the Greyhounds.
Rockhurst with that early lead after the 2 successful free throws from Byer. He's got the ball now. He's going to try to work in on Eja. Nice little poke away. Greyhounds have it. Williams does all the work. And now they have the numbers. Turnover, though. Williams tried to get fancy. Stolen away by Jihad Thornton. And now it's Byer to the basket, but he misses. Offensive foul. Greyhounds with the ball.
And on that last possession from the Greyhounds, trying to play a little bit of unselfish basketball as the bounce pass was kind of tipped away. But hopefully they can get the turnover limits pretty good today.
Bingham, who missed a basket on the last possession. We'll see what he can do. He had almost 20 points in that game. Here's his first attempted 3, and he misses. Good rebound by the offense and David Eja. Williams, he's got space, but he can't get it to go. Been a lid on the basket here for the Greyhounds.
Greyhounds so far from the three-point line, even though it's only been 3 minutes so far in this game, kind of haven't been really getting anything going from behind the arc.
Kynes missed one. You just saw Williams and Bingham all miss one. It's just been tough to find a basket to fall for Indianapolis today. But same goes on the other end. Good defense from the Greyhounds, and you see it here, poked out of bounds. Byer, a little frustrated, but he'll get the ball back. Now we see Ben Nickerson, team captain, come off the bench for the first time today. He'll replace Josiah Tynes. Good defense, pretty good three-point shooting from Mr. Nickerson.
With the addition of Ben Nickerson now on the court, with his veterans kind of presence, will help the Greyhounds try to get that leadership going here and try to get these plays drawn out.
Here's another three, left wing, and it's still a little off. Williams can't get it to drop again.
So far, the Greyhounds really just
look at this.
Oh,
how about that?
Goodness.
Tamarius Brown, the 6'5" forward from Chicago. I'm sure you'd like that. You're from the area.
Yes, that Chicago swag right there, as we were able to see that dunk right there.
Nixon feeds inside. Haven't seen much from Robinson. How about this? An attempt on the other end and a failure as Ija can't get it to slam.
But regardless, even though he was not able to get that dunk, that was still a great pass from Robinson to Ija.
Got fouled, so send him to the line. But now we've seen a case of where you can't buy a bucket from downtown, you can't buy a bucket from mid-range, and can't even buy it when you try to put it in with your fingers themselves. So we'll see if he can get one from the line.
Let me just say, I really love the addition of David Ija here for the Greyhounds.
Yeah.
He's a transfer from St. Francis, but his chemistry has really meshed well with the other team's players. It looks like they've been playing for like many years, but it's only been for like 7 games almost.
From the line again. Ija splits the pair, but how about this? The rebound. Maybe this is what the Greyhounds needed to get a spark. Down by 5. Williams from mid-range and still nothing. He's missed his first 3.
Greyhounds are not really looking good too far on the offensive side. Only got 1 point so far compared to Rockhurst's 6.
Ball's loose. Greyhounds get it. Now it's Bingham in transition. Look at this Euro step. Jesse Bingham makes it drop.
I guess that was my announcer's jinx, Nathaniel. That happens to me quite frequently. That was such a nice layup from Jesse Bingham, doing what Jesse does best, proving how good of an offensive player he is for this Greyhound team.
On the other end of the floor, trying to drive in. Good defense from Williams. Nice little turnaround, and he gets it to drop. How about that? Not bad from Jake Auer. 11 points a game, second on the team.
Jake Auer, nice turnaround Jay right there.
Didn't matter how good the defense was, that little fadeaway. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the offense. That'll bring us to the media timeout. So here in just a moment or two, we'll hear from Grayson. Let's go ahead and go down to Grayson.
Despite the slow start for the Greyhounds, with Rockhurst leading with 8 at this point, UINDY head coach Paul Casaro is still encouraging his players, but wants them to pick up the pace a little bit when it comes to their offense, get a little bit quicker into this game, and also wants them to speed up the pace of the play. Stay tuned for more here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV. Thank you.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org. A different kind.
Welcome back here to Nickerson Hall. Nathaniel Finch with Giselle Valentine. Grayson Holt, just heard from her down on the sideline. A big thanks for that report. And We'll see what the Greyhounds can do to kind of turn around the fate. We've seen them so many times this year get off to such a hot start, right? They've got a big run to start the game. 8-0 run was what they had against Truman on Monday, things like that. But today it's been the opposite. Only been able to get 3 points. It was a layup, nice little Euro step from Bingham, and a free throw. That's the only way they've been able to get points today. And it's Rockhurst coming out firing on all cylinders.
And by looking at these stats right here, Indy's only 1 of 7 from the field goal range, as they've just been really kind of sleepy on the offensive side right here early on in this game.
Jarvis Walker enters the game. So does Sean Craig. And how about this? Julian Steinfeld. He's missed the last few. Oh, here's Mr. Lightning in a bottle, but he can't even get it to go. Sean Craig has been dynamite, second in the conference, and three-point percentage as a true freshman, but he can't even get the home roll. Not sure what's going on for the team in gray, but if Sean Craig can't hit a three like that, it might be a bit before they can get this jinx off the bucket.
Just a little bit of a slump. I really love Sean Craig. He really makes his presence known as a true freshman. Just been really hot behind the arc, but
I think he hit his first like 5 or 6 threes of the year just in a row, bang, bang, bang. And he hasn't slowed down since. Here's a triple. Nickerson can't get it.
I love how our sideline reporter Grayson Holt said that Coach Casaro said he wants things to change on offense, especially with the pace of the game. It looks like the Greyhounds are a bit really tired from it.
Man, Nico Felici with a nice tray. And you know what set that up, Giselle? Was 3 guys crashed in on the glass to try to stop Rich Beyer, a triple team, and it set up a guy wide open. How about that? Here's Walker, gets to the hoop and the harm, send him to the line. The 3-point play opportunity in front of him. How about Jarvis Walker? He's had himself a good year, a newcomer from Purdue Fort Wayne.
Jarvis Walker, 11th in the GLVC when it comes to steals, so he's really good on the defensive side. Career high from Purdue, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals with a block.
This season, Mr. Walker, 86% from the line. I don't believe in the announcer's jinx, but I'd say there's a good shot he makes this.
And you are correct, Nathaniel.
Nothing I say up here can change what's going on down there, Giselle. On the other end of the floor, here's the Hawks. Suddenly the Greyhounds starting to get back into the swing of things. Still down 5. Let's see what Rockhurst can do here. A nice 8-hour drive from Kansas City, Missouri. He can do it all. The big man drains a 3. He shoots 62% from the floor. 40% from downtown. Rich Beyer, he can literally do anything on the basketball court, and he hits one there.
This is going to definitely, as you mentioned earlier, this is a name we're definitely going to hear a lot throughout this entire contest, and the Greyhounds know that is their man to stop, and that was a huge problem for Julian Steinfeld as he is now talking to Coach Casaro, going through what went wrong on that last play.
Beyer takes a little shot to the mouth, so he's going to head a little meeting to the training staff. Shouldn't affect his play, but might keep him out for a bit. Greyhounds really need to capitalize on this next few minutes. Here's a tray from the corner, and it's good. Suddenly, Indianapolis takes the lid off the basket, and it's Jarvis Walker.
Jarvis Walker stops the bleeding when it comes to the three-point range, as now Indianapolis has 1 on the board out of 6 attempts.
Yeah, and Walker's got 6 points. Not a bad start for him. Turnover on the other end sends Sean Craig to the baseline. Here's Josiah Tynes running point from Nova Scotia. Transfer from Santa Fe College in Florida. Here's Bingham driving inside, and he skies up and slams it down.
Woo! What a nice drive in the paint, as we see in this instant replay. And bam! Goodness gracious. What an amazing player. So much fun to watch. Very high energy young man right there.
And there's a trampoline on the GLVC logo, I guess, because he flew up there. Steal from Walker. He's got another one. Turnover from Felici. And now on the other end, the Greyhounds trying to find some momentum. They've got a 3 and a dunk. Here's another 3. That's a miss, though.
Sean Craig's second 3-point miss of this game. Immediately, it's pretty fire from behind the arc.
Very uncharacteristic of him. as Jake Auer misses a triple as well. Here's Tynes, going to come in, navigate traffic. 4 guys inside, sets up a wide open man. Here's Ija. Can't get it to go.
Regardless of the missed shot, nice recovery hustle from Sean Craig as he was able to get the offensive rebound. He saw that David Ija was open, but David was not able to knock it down. It just shows the true testament of the heart and muscle of this team and how they don't give up, especially on the offensive side.
Still missing their best player, who's being tended to by the staff. And so far, it's led to a few turnovers here. They're going to say that it was tipped off of a Greyhound, it appears. Immediate timeout regardless. Greyhounds pulled it back in. Suddenly, it's only a 3-point difference. Rockhurst still with the lead. Let's go down to our sideline reporter with Grayson Holt.
Rockhurst is still in the lead as we see it right now with 14. The Greyhounds attempting to speed up their approach. It looks like it's working. They've got 11 right now. We're also seeing the Greyhounds take advantage of Julian Steinfeld being back on the court after being gone for 2 weeks with a knee injury. Stay tuned here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Last 2 nights. Well, back here at Nickerson Halls, we've got suddenly a battle in front of us. Rockhurst with the early lead. The Greyhounds have brought it back, and we've got ourselves a basketball game. We see Indianapolis breaking the huddle there. See what Coach Corsaro can say to Indianapolis. In his 3rd year as the head coach, things started slow, right? When he first started with the Greyhounds, 7 straight losses, but since then, he's got this into a very respectable program. 36-24 his record all time as an Indianapolis head coach. Actually played Indianapolis football and basketball when he went here years and years ago. Was an assistant coach at Purdue Fort Wayne for a couple years. Nice little story, Paul Corsaro.
And it's just nice to see how much each year the Greyhounds just get better and better and better, as it's just proven right now. 6-1 so far on this season. A lot of the players, when he first started off as a coach, a lot of these players were just freshmen. So it's nice to see him grow with his players as well, and just being a beautiful testament of what he has done for this program.
Yeah, and it really culminated in, it's still, I guess, not a culmination because there's still plenty of season to go, but you start the year first in the coaches poll. That's not how the Greyhounds have played the last few years, right? It used to be Greyhound basketball when Stan Gerard was the coach, but with Corsaro, it was kind of coming as the underdogs for most of the games. It's just been different this year, and suddenly the Greyhounds, a GLVC powerhouse, voted #1 preseason poll.
And even in the GLVC tournament last season, they were really, truly still the underdogs, and they really surprised everyone on what they could do. They made it all the way to the final round of the GLVC, and it's just a true testament of what this man can really do. And these Greyhounds, they really are the definition of heart and hustle and muscle, and they never give up. And that's one of the great things to see about this team. There's a very young team. It's really mainly freshmen and sophomores and juniors. There are no seniors on this team whatsoever. There are no seniors on this team. So it's really nice to see these players really get these flowers that they deserve, especially with Ben Nickerson. He's now a team captain for the Greyhounds and just improving overall. He didn't really see so much time last year, only a couple minutes here and there, but now he's starting to prove his dominant presence for the Greyhounds and his veteran kind of leadership as well. As he's right now, his three-point range has improved a lot, as he's now 6th in the GLBC when it comes to three-point shots. And it's just a true testament of what these Greyhounds can do and how much growth there is among this team.
We'll tell you about his leadership and the leadership of Jesse Bingham. I had a chance to sit down and talk with him. But first, as you can see, they're wiping up a bit of an issue on the floor. We had this issue a couple weeks ago. It ended up being a 15-minute break. We hope it's not going to be that, but let's go ahead and step aside here for a bit. The GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
Well, it was not a 15-minute break. How about 15 seconds? Not even that, as we're now back and ready to get underway. But I did have a chance to speak to Jesse Bingham. I asked him about what his leadership role is this year compared to last year. You had Corey Miller and D. Montgomery last year. They both since graduated, so now all of a sudden he's got to be that one to be the big leader for this team, to take those shots late in games and kind of put the team on his back. Says it's been a different role for him, but he's learning how to adjust, and he's really enjoyed it. So we see here Jarvis Walker fouled as he goes up to the bucket, so send him back to the line. Walker currently leads the game in scoring with 6 points. He made his only free throw.
Jarvis Walker kind of being the Greyhound solution into coming back in this game, as he has 6 points so far, as you mentioned, Nathaniel. Now he has 7 so far. He's just a player now that the Greyhounds can turn around to in game situations like this.
Nice spark off the bench. Literally the definition of a spark off the bench, as he was able to come in and get the entire offense as a whole going. So now we've got the full court press from this defense. Trying to force some more turnovers. We've seen Rockhurst commit a few turnovers already, so they're going to try to attack that. 6 turnovers for the Hawks. And we're not even inside of 10 minutes. Still missing your best player in Rich Byer if you wear blue. You hope that he's all right. It appears that he's getting a little bit more attention than we had originally thought from the training staff. Here's David Ejaz. He misses the layup, but coming in to clean up. A lot of contact there. Josiah Tynes, a little bit of a mix-up there.
And with Rich Breyer currently out of the game, the Greyhounds should use this to their advantage. That is the team's leading scorer right there. And without him out, the Rockhurst Hawks are kind of not necessarily falling too much of apart, but they do lose that offensive threat right there.
Connor Renard, part of that little exchange between him and Josiah Tynes. They shook hands afterwards, but it's Tynes who's going to win it because the Greyhounds have that possession arrow. So he will be standing on the baseline, ready to throw this one in. Here's Walker, navigating traffic, comes in furiously, and it bounces as a miss. It's an offensive foul. Or rather, they decided to count the bucket. Goaltending.
And that works in the Greyhounds' favor. Walker's one of those players not scared to go up against these guys, especially on the double team, going through, finding his way through traffic and getting the layup going.
Again, full court press. 3 guys on this side of the half-court line. Rockhurst does a good job breaking it. Now trying to go to the bucket, and he gets it to roll. How about that? Nick Arsenberg goes all the way around Walker.
Nick Arsenberg kind of stopping the bleeding a little bit for the Rockhurst Hawks.
Greyhounds are going to inbound this one with Jesse Bingham. Awaiting his chance to come into the game for the first time today is going to be Data Kakushadze. He'll make his way in. We're going to pause and sort this one out with the scorers table. He'll replace Renard. Again, this Rockhurst team, Giselle, they're still without Rich Byer, averages 19 and 11. He is the team's best player. He just came out of the locker room, so you hope he's able to come in and play some basketball now.
The Rockhurst Hawks kind of crossing their fingers a little bit, as that is their main go-to guy. Makes his presence pretty well known, as he's only a junior so far. It's going to be just in his junior year season. He's just breaking out to this phenomenal player. You can only imagine what he's going to do when it comes to his senior year.
Conference Player of the Week not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago. So he's now back in his jersey near the bench. For Rockhurst, they're happy that there's a bit of a pause in the action, right? Because the longer you can delay, the less time you'll have to be without your star player and maybe the best player in the conference.
Bit of a delay here as the referees are kind of chatting with the scorer's table on what is going on. But this gives a good opportunity for head coach Paul Cosaro, as I see him down on the sideline crafting some creative plays right here, as he's kind of curious on what's going on right here.
Well, with that, let's step aside up here. You're watching Greyhound Basketball, UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, still trying to figure out what's all going on down there at the scores table. You had the referees talking to the scorebook and the officials that are at the replay center, just trying to figure out what's all going on there. I don't know if it was something with substitutions, maybe wrong jersey numbers, not quite sure, but looks like we're about ready to get back into playing again for Rockhurst. Pretty advantageous that they get a little break in the action.
Hopefully both teams used that kind of long timeout, took advantage of that to create some crafty plays here, as we'll see for the rest of the first half.
They'll get the first opportunity to show off some plays here out of the break as the offense works inside with Jesse Bingham. Jarvis Walker's been a spark plug. Here he kicks it out. Tynes from the corner, and he can't hit it. Threes have been hard to come by. How about that? Look at the box out from Nick Arsenberg.
Greyhounds only 1 from 10 from behind the arc. And sometimes with Josiah Tynes, he kind of has this bad habit of just kind of forcing up a shot. Wasn't able to get that going.
Downtown steps out of bounds underneath the basket. That was Datan Kakushadze, and he can't make this a successful one. So we're just going to reset things and allow Rockhurst to inbound it. Inside, trying to do it all himself. Instead, he finds help as they kick it out. Here's a three. How about that? A hard-fought three, and it's drained from Jake Auer. How about the Robin to Rich Byers Batman?
Rockhurst 3 of 6 from behind the arc. They clearly take the cake compared to UINDY when it comes to three-point shots, as they've just been making them pretty effortlessly here.
Greyhounds will inbound it. Tynes trying to find a man. He does in the corner for three, and he drains it. Swishes around from Jarvis Walker. Boy, he's done it all. 13 points.
Jarvis Walker is kind of like the Greyhound's secret weapon, as he's been pretty hot here today. Kind of been the guy to stop the bleeding and just been a positive force for this team so far.
Playing good defense, too. 2 rebounds and a steal. Here's a deeper three. He's been perfect today. Auer again.
That was a really deep three from downtown, and you can't afford to leave Jake Auer open. He's another good shooter on this Rockhurst team, and once he gets hot, he'll get hot, and he'll definitely make those shots.
Now he's already got double figures as he hits that one, his second 3 of the game. Bit of a foul as Sean Craig came over the back of Jahad Thornton. Just the second foul that the Greyhounds have committed here this half, so no harm, no foul. Maybe not the right analogy to use there, Giselle. There was a foul. There was a little bit of harm, but it doesn't go too bad against Greyhounds. It's just a foul on the floor. Greyhounds with some substitutions. Bruno Williams back into the game. He'll replace Jarvis Walker. Transfer from Lewis is Williams. Slow start to the year, but he started to come on of late. He's had himself a good game against William Jewell on Thursday night. 10 points in that affair. Had 5 Greyhounds who had double figures. Not a bad little scoring day against the Cardinals. Back into the game now for the first time in quite a while is Rich Beyer. He's going to work on Steinfeld, the 7-footer, has to kick it out. Oh, and look at this, a wide open 3 from Thornton. Can't get it to fall.
Greyhounds can't afford to leave these men wide open. Thank goodness he didn't make that shot.
How about that? Off the bench and hitting a long-range 2-pointer. Bruno Williams. Here's Beyer inside again. Nice little spin. He can do this lethally, but he gets it picked away. The pickpocket now is going to set up Bingham. And you hate to see that. Ooh. That was a terrible foul as Jake Auer wouldn't accept defeat. He's going to make Jesse Bingham earn it, but that could have been catastrophic if Bingham got hurt.
That would have been really bad. The way he landed on that, too. Whew.
Sometimes you just got to let him go up and slam that dunk. Right. I get the idea of trying to stop that, but maybe it's if you're a few steps back, maybe closer to the free throw line. If you're that close and he's going up,
just let him at this point.
Let him go. With that, let's go ahead and step down to the sideline with Grayson Holt.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Rockhurst still in the lead with 22, keeping up a strong defense, but the Greyhounds coming off a win, they want to keep that streak, so they're breaking through that defense, trying to block as much as they can. We can see head coach Paul Casaro bringing the pressure to the sidelines as he's really encouraging these Greyhounds to keep up the pace. Stay tuned here on GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Thank you, Grayson, for that sideline report.
Thank you.
As we've got a nice matchup in front of us. How about this? Rockhurst only ahead now by a pair. Started hot, but it's been a dogfight since then.
And even earlier in this game, Rockhurst kind of had the 6-1 lead, but UINDY slowly making a comeback here, and that's all thanks to Jarvis Walker so far leading Indy with 13 points. The only player for UINDY in double figures.
Trying to get to that number like he has every game this year is Bingham, but he misses a free throw. You could say if there's one area of Jesse Bingham's game to improve on, it's just making these from the charity stripe. Under 70%. Still one of the better numbers on the team, but that is the one thing you could maybe nitpick on one of the best players in the conference in Jesse Bingham. A tie-up, possession arrow in favor of the team in blue.
And talk about Jake Auer. He really is not afraid to get in these guys' faces. He's kind he's only 6 foot, but he's getting with these guys who are like 6'11", possibly 7 feet. He's just not afraid to get scrappy, as we just saw right there with him and Jacoby Robinson kind of going at it for the ball.
The only other Hawk to average double figures. Of course, that's because Rich Beyer commands such a large share of the offense, but look at this. Nice little kick out. From 3, the big man can't get it to fall. How about that? Look at that. Climbing the ladder was Jacoby Robinson. Haven't seen a ton from him today. It's his first rebound. He's such a good rebounder for this team, one of the top in the conference.
13th in the GLVC with the rebounds.
Misses a triple, but look at that. Bingham gets the recovery, puts it up for 2. Jesse does it all.
Right there, Bingham saving the day with that putback right there.
That's his 6th point, his 3rd rebound of the day. It's early. Inside the drive, a lot of contact, but he makes the layup. How about that? Tamarius Brown.
Tamarius Brown, the freshman forward, only averages about 9 points per game. Kind of having a slow start right here, as that was his first 2 points of the game.
3rd leading scorer with 9, as a foul comes to defense. A little too harsh on Kendrick Joe as he tries to kick it out to Ija. In comes Nico Felici from Omaha, Nebraska. He's a junior. Craig comes into the game now for Indianapolis, as well as Ija gets a break. It's also been a slow start for Kendrick Cho. Just 3 minutes today, had an early foul. Forced him to hit the bench, but he's back in. We'll see if he can make his mark felt. More contact, foul on the floor. This one looks like it's going to go against Felici, and it will. A little too much contact against the freshman, Sean Craig.
And if UINDY can definitely be smart and try to draw those fouls, they can definitely get some easy points at the charity stripe.
Another foul. A big spurt of those all of a sudden. And now you're going to run out of fouls to give. To the line for a 1-on-1 bonus. The 7th foul of the contest. 2nd one from Nick Arensberg. And now we're going to see Kendrick Cho at the line. Here's the thing, though. He shoots 57% from the line. Needs to hit the first one to get a second chance. And he can't. A wasted trip to the line. And it's a turnover.
But regardless, good effort from Sean Craig. The right mindset was there. Just wasn't able to get a good grip on the ball.
Rockhurst brings it up with no pressure. Gonna move quickly here inside. Nice little hook shot, and it's successful from Dada Kukaj.
Look at that beautiful behind the back dribble right there. He's able to get the layup going.
Kakushadze got that last shot, but now on the other end, it is yet another foul. This team is just undisciplined. Puts Joe at the line again. I'm sure they're not too upset about putting Kendrick Joe at the line, though, because, again, he's kind of had his struggles from the line over his career with the Greyhounds. One of the best rebounders in Greyhound history. One of the best shooters in the conference, currently ranked 2nd in the GLVC in field goal percentage, just a few ticks under 70%. But when it comes to the line, it's where he can find his struggles. It's not a strong suit.
Last game against William Jewell, he only had 12 points and 4 rebounds. So he's just not able to knock these easy free throws down for the Greyhounds.
Missed the front end of 2 straight 1-and-1s. Could be 4 points, but they're all left on the floor. Here's Kukushadze with a nice 3. A little step back over Bruno Williams, and he hits it. This team increases their lead to 7. Here's Bingham inside, lays it in, gets his own rebound and puts it back.
Look at Bingham right here as he's goes for it, but doesn't go through. He gets offensive board and bam, able to get that easy shot going.
A little too soft was his touch on the first shot, but he did a great job to suddenly just throw in some power. Gets up and skies for that rebound and puts it back in easily. Here's a little step back. How about that? Mid-range Jay missed, but the rebound from the Hawks, another miss. Abuladze couldn't get it. Neither could his teammate Connor Renard. Inside, kicking it out, wide open, Tynes from downtown, and he still can't too strong. And it's Choa with the rebound, helped out by Bingham. A lot of inside and outs here. You get inside and you kick it back out. Another long-range 2 from Williams, and he can't hit it. The rebound, after climbing the ladder, goes to Tamarius Brown. He's got 3 of those a game.
Head coach for Rockhurst, Drew Diener, telling his guys to kind of slow things down and try to get something going offensively.
How about that? Another 3. Rockhurst has been lights out from downtown, and they continue that. 6 of 11 are they. And that's a big reason why they have this lead. That one was Tamarius Brown.
Tamarius Brown starting to find his rhythm a little bit, trying to get things going offensively.
Foul. But count the basket. Send Choa to the line for a chance at an old-fashioned 3-point play. Look at this. A little too much harm as he goes up and still finds a way to make it fall. We take a break on the floor, and that'll give us a chance to visit our sideline reporter today. It's Grayson Holt down on the sideline. Here in just a moment, we'll hear from her.
Award-winning news coverage.
Why would you tell me to go?
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime.
Rockhurst is racking up the fouls as they stay in the lead. This is hurting them having to pass over the ball so much, but very beneficial for the Greyhounds as they're struggling to, mend that gap and get over the Hawks during this first quarter. See you more on GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Thank you, Grayson, for that report.
Thank you.
As you can see over on that far sideline, the Greyhounds trying to get back in this game. It's been a slow start. They're not used to being down early, but here they are. They're going to have to find a way to come back.
Now Kendra Choa definitely going to the free throw line a lot more on the last possession. Was able to do a nice little turnaround for the layup. So hopefully, we've been talking about his struggles at the free throw line all day today, Nathaniel. So hopefully he's able to knock one down to get the Greyhounds into at least 5 points.
Here is Choa, smile on his face, drops it in. Suddenly it's a 4-point game as now Rockhurst on the other end. Inside of 4 minutes. Nice job laying it in for 2. So we see Data Kakushadze with that one.
He was able to turn around and throw his defender off to get that layup going. Nice find from Josiah Tynes. Look at the overhand pass right there. He found Kendrick Toa on the low end. Kendrick Toa once again going to the free throw line.
He's been here all night. Might as well set up a tent out there. That's where he's been living. Move his permanent address to that charity stripe. I appreciate it when you laugh at my jokes, Giselle.
Yes,
I'm going to keep telling them. You keep laughing at them.
I
I'm going to keep
love
telling
it.
them.
I love these puns. I love this joke.
The listeners at home might be trying to pull their ears off, but you're empowering me. So now we'll see what the Hawks can do here. It's kind of the key for the Greyhounds. If you can start to convert those free throws. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
He makes it in. Count that bucket. How did he make that one fall?
Kakushadze really kind of just been really a little bit of a spark of the energy from the Greyhounds on the last possession from Rockhurst. He had a really nice spin around layup. Right now he goes to the charity stripe.
Hits that three-point play successful. Seen that quite a bit today. A lot of times where some guys are getting fouled on their way up to make a bucket and they still find a way to get them to fall.
And now he ties Jake Auer for Rockhurst with 10 points in the game.
How about that? For Rockhurst, you got two guys leading the charge with 10. For the Greyhounds, it's kind of similar. Walker has 13, Bingham has 8. Two guys are leading the charge here, near double figures. Speaking of Walker, he's going to kick it out here. Tynes to navigate his way to the bucket, and he gets fouled. Count the basket, send him to the line.
Beautiful. Look at this right here, this instant replay. Finding his way through 3 defenders. And bam, able to get that layup in.
How about this? You see Tynes ask the referee, hey, do I get 2 shots? The referee says, nah, we counted your bucket. You get just 1. Here's his three-point play. And he can't get it. It rolls out, but how about this? Look at that, trying to pickpocket it was Robinson instead. They're going to give this one to Rockhurst. Call him a foul. A little too strong on that steal attempt.
Had the right idea. Just a little too much power right there.
Ejak comes back in to replace Robinson, who picks up his foul on that one. First foul. Rather, his second foul. Greyhounds have only committed 4 fouls. Here's another deep 3. The bullseye. How about that from Jake Auer? He cannot miss.
Shooting that from all the way from Kansas City, my gosh.
Near the logo. How about that? Jake Auer. Little mid-range floater, and he gets it to go in. Jesse Bingham back pedals, and he's happy with that one.
I know we mentioned earlier that Richard Breyer was the man to look out for, but now I think we're going to change our mind just a little bit because Jake Auer really shooting from lights downtown, all the way from the Indianapolis logo, has a really good shot. Just form. And there he goes again.
This time he misses. Well, Giselle's human. On the other end. Here goes Tynes in transition. Bingham will slow things down. Try to do it himself. Got to watch that baseline, though. He tight ropes it. Sets up Ija. Kicks out for Jarvis Walker, but he can't. Rebound goes to Kakushadze.
That was still really good ball movement in front of the Greyhounds.
Inside the drive, but he loses the ball. Stolen away from Kendrick Choa, but he loses it. Look at this. Ooh. 3 guys on the ground, 2 Greyhounds, and one of them is a bit hurt. Auer's helped up. He's going to walk a little gingerly on that left knee. I hate to see that. Just a little too much contact as the guys were fighting for a loose ball.
These guys with Jake Auer been very, very aggressive. It's been a bit of quite some trips, quite some falls.
Choa called with his second personal foul. He'll sit down for the half. And with that, both teams will sit down for about 30 seconds. With that, let's step aside up here as well. UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, as you see Coach Corsaro in the middle of that huddle, getting his team going. Seeing if he can get them fired up for the final 47.5 seconds to go here in this opening half. For Indianapolis, you're down 6, trying to get this as close to a tie, if not, try to take the lead at the end of this one if you can, and head into the locker room as close to having that lead as you can. Rockhurst with the inbound. Greyhounds need to start with some good defense here. Bingham's going to provide it. Kick out, now to the corner, driving inside, still nothing. Oh, here's a lethal shooter, and Auer knocks another one down.
Makes it look so effortlessly and so easy. Boom, right there. That's
16 points for Jake Auer. Greyhounds have done such a good job in stopping Rich Byer, but they've left Auer wide open. He doesn't even need that much to be open. He's got an out. He's going to hold for the last shot. He's going to take up a three, I'm sure. We'll see what he can do here. So he's got just 3 seconds and a foul. Last thing you wanted to do, an untimed extra couple shots here. As this should go down as a 1-on-1 bonus. Actually, it'll be on the floor. The final foul to give that the Greyhounds had, so not too bad. It is the second one called against Sean Craig, though. So the Greyhounds just need to hold out for 2.5 seconds. They are unable to do that, as the buzzer sounds, the shot goes in. How about the runner from Jahad Thornton? Take a look at this one. With that internal clock in his head, knew when to let go of it. Just what a shot from him.
One easy shot made it look so easy right there.
So, heading into the locker room, Rockhurst went on a bit of a run at the end there. 45-34 is the score. As now they get to go in with a little bit of extra confidence being up by 11. With that, we'll head down to the sideline with Grayson Holt.
It is. Keep the Greyhounds afloat with 34 points. Rockhurst still in the lead with 43. We will see how the Greyhounds plan to prevail and what Paul Casaro is encouraging the players to do in the second quarter. Stay tuned here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV. Dude, I forgot I was on air for a second.
Grace.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
feels like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Spurgeon.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Spurgeon.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Well, it's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com.
Welcome back here to Nickerson Hall. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from half number one as we see. How about that? Jake Howard, lights out from downtown and from any part on the floor. He had 16 points. Leads the game in that category. For the Greyhounds, it was Jarvis Walker with 13. But man, this Rockhurst team, they were lights out from three. They had such a good first half from behind the arc, 8 of 14. It's good for 57%, whereas the Greyhounds, they only hit 2 from downtown, so it's a big difference.
Hopefully when the start of this second half, the Greyhounds can get something going on the three-point side, 2 of 5 today. But hopefully, you know, especially their secret weapon, Sean Craig, the freshman, he's able to have a better second half when it comes to that category.
You see the numbers there. Rockhurst 63% from the field, 57 from downtown. They even out-rebounded the Greyhounds by a single one and a couple more assists. It was just a, I don't want to say a dominating performance because it was close for most of it until that run late, but I mean, it was a pretty impressive performance to say the least.
Definitely. And the Rockhurst Hawks just really, because the last matchup between these two teams was back in February, back in Kansas City, where UINDY was able to escape with a win. So the Rockhurst are kind of looking for revenge here today in Indianapolis.
You went to that game. You made the 8-hour drive out
Yes.
to Kansas City. But that was pretty fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. Such a great city. I absolutely love Kansas City. Such a good, just town overall.
Josiah Tynes is going to get things started for Indianapolis. They're out on offense. Here's Bruno Williams as the starting 5 return to the floor for the Greyhounds. Inside, hard-earned bucket. Can't get it, though. Rolls all the way around in slow motion, but how about this? Look at Robinson with the left hand.
Great job from Josiah Tynes.
Look at
He
this
was able
replay.
right there, boom. Nice pass to Jacoby Robinson.
They seemed to be content with just giving up when they didn't get the rebound or they didn't have that initial look against Williams U on Thursday. The Greyhounds did a good job on offense, but their defense, there was a lot to be lacking there. Of course, they do have the #1 defense in the conference, so it's not like they were poor. It's just there was something that Coach Corsaro kept stressing throughout the day was, hey, crash the boards, play better defense. There they do a great job. And look at this little pickpocket there. Another foul. Another opportunity there that goes awry, but it's still just a testament to how great the Greyhounds have done trying to block these shots quite a bit.
And let's go back into the rebounds. As in the first half, it was pretty neck and neck as Rockhurst only had just 1 rebound higher than Greyhounds, 17-16. And out of the 16 rebounds Indy had, 8 of them were offensive rebounds, as we just saw right here. And like what you mentioned, they just don't give up. They're testament to the defense.
Rebound goes to Kendrick Choa. Hugs that thing, says, now it's mine. Leave it alone. Now we see a little pass to the outside. Don't think it was meant for Bruno Williams, but he got it, and it'll reset things. Halfway through the shot clock. Trying to get it inside, and they do. Here is Kendrick Choa with the triple team, and he can't get it in. But look at this. He gets his own rebound. Kicks it out. Tynes to drive in, and now another three-point attempt from the corner, and he can't. It's been tough to find a three-point bucket for the Greyhounds. Only 2 of them, and there we've seen Robinson miss his 2 opportunities. with some breathing room behind the arc. And we see Rich Byra. He'll work inside. Sets up an open three from the wing, and he can't get it. Another rebound from Kendrick Choa, his fourth. Here's Jesse Bingham trying to come in and do it all himself. He gets a little jumper, and he can't get it to hit from the GLVC logo. A few steps in front of the line. In transition, though. Inside, look at this. How is that not a foul? Bruno Williams gets the ball away. The Greyhounds get lucky there. And now, look at that. The layup from Jacoby Robinson. The assist, and a heck of an assist from Jesse Bingham.
The nice bounce pass to get that easy layup going for the Greyhounds. And they're slowly kind of making a comeback here, Nathaniel.
Hard-earned shot, can't get it to go, but they get the rebound with Nick Arnsberg. Inside, here's Byra, and he gets it in. Slams his hand in frustration.
Richard Byer only in the first half had about 5 points. Kind of a quiet first half. He sat out quite a bit. I know he went to the locker room. Deal was possibly just getting checked out and getting looked out, but now coming back here, I liked him with Jake Auer right there, the 2 leading scorers for this Rockhurst team.
You see him messing with the mouth guard there. That was why he had to head to the locker room. So he took a shot to the jaw, to the face, to the mouth in that area. He's wearing a mouth guard now. It's allowing him to get back on this floor and play, but came in, he's the #1 scorer in the conference. The Greyhounds came in, and it's the best defense in the conference. It's been an unstoppable force and 5 immovable objects, but the Greyhounds have gotten the best of him to this point until now, and he's able to get back on the board with that 3-point play. Bruno Williams from downtown, but he can't. Look at this. Skying up to get the rebound and lay it back in is Jesse Bingham, and he's got 12 points.
Once again, UINDY with these offensive rebounds, really just hustling and just trying to get these shots going.
10 offensive rebounds now compared to just a couple for Rockhurst. So they're going to drive inside now. Kicks it back out. Here's Auer. He's been lethal from mid-range, and he can't. Bounces out a tad too strong, and the rebound, a tag team one from Robinson and Ija. Here's Ben Nixon. Hasn't seen a ton of time this weekend. Ija, the double team, closes in. Here is Williams, and it rolls off, but he can't get the rebound. Oh, he tried his hardest, Giselle.
He tried. It's that effort that you love to see, but just a little slippery hands right there.
Let's head down to the floor with Grayson Holt.
It looks like that locker room talk is having an effect on the Greyhounds. Don't know what Paul Cosora said, but it looks like it's working. They're taking a new approach, strengthening their defense and getting closer to bridging that gap, but still a score of 40-48. We'll see what happens next here on GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
The Greyhounds huddle there, Coach Mike Burris, and you see just behind him Paul Corsaro trying to figure out what the Greyhounds need to do to get back into this one. They're down 8, went to the locker room down 11. They started to chip back into it, but then the offense started to heat back up for Rockhurst. How about this? The Greyhounds have made one of their last 10 3-pointers. It's just been a struggle from downtown.
It has been pretty much a struggle, 0-2 so far in this second half. But we have to look at the positive side as in points. Even though it's been 5 minutes so far in the second half, UINDY does lead in the points category with 6 so far compared to Rockhurst's 3 in the second half.
The no-look kick out to the corner to Byra. He'll drive inside. Nice little shoulder work, and he is fouled. Kendrick Choa doesn't agree with it, but regardless, he'll be charged with his 3rd personal. Likely going to have to see him head to the bench. Coach Corsaro's not happy with it either.
And that will be Kendrick Choa's 3rd personal foul. So, yeah, as you mentioned, he's probably going to see some bench time here soon.
Byra with a chance at double figures. If he can hit this next free throw, he's currently at 9 points. He'd be the 3rd Hawk to hit double digits. He also has 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He's hit every free throw so far today. And that streak continues. Give him 10. Half of those from the line. Greyhounds offense working on what's been a pretty stout defense here today for the Hawks. Not quite what was expected. Williams works his way inside, lowers his shoulder, and he misses it. A rebound, and a pretty good one from Data Kakushadze. Now on the other end, the Hawks with a chance to increase this double-digit lead. Oh, look at that, the fake from downtown. Oh, he can't drain it, though. Kakushadze with a nice defensive play, but can't get it to go on the other end of the floor. Here's Bingham coming in hot, and he loses it, but he is fouled. Send him to the line. Fouled that time by Jihad Thornton.
And good look from Jesse Bingham. As long as he can find ways into the lane, getting through traffic, that's easy points for the Greyhounds as they will go to the free throw line.
Hits the first. In comes Jarvis Walker for Indianapolis, and out goes Rich Byra. This is a chance for the Greyhounds to try to go on a run here without the team's best player on the floor. Bingham working on defense. Inside, here is an in and out play. Missed shot, but man, it looked good.
It kind of looked like it was a little bit of a blocked shot from Steinfeld.
On the other end, it's a layup from David Eja. Eja, it's his first made basket of the day. A stark difference from his 13 points he had just 2 days ago. Does have 3 rebounds, though, putting in the work on defense. Inside the drive, and he finds 2 points underneath the basket. That was Tamarius Brown.
Chicago native now with 9 points so far. Just 1 point shy away from scoring in double figures. Ooh! The blocked shot from Jesse Bingham as he just swatted that thing out of there. He was like, nope, not in my house today. Definitely good defense from Jesse Bingham. The aggression you can see in this young man's eyes as he just clearly just wants the Greyhounds to get this W today.
Trying to keep it within single digits. Greyhounds, they call it a game of runs. The Greyhounds have gone on some runs this game, but really it's been a testament to Rockhurst staying up. It's been a while since Indianapolis had their last lead. Only had it for 10 seconds, too, so it was way back when it was 15-14 in Indianapolis' favor. It was just halfway through the first half. Here we are now, nearly halfway through the second one. It's been all Rockhurst. Inside, look at this. Great offense, and they have to kick it out. Dribble going inside. The floater missed, and Bingham can't keep a hold of it, but testament to him to block that shot.
The right idea, but just can't. The ball's a little too slippery for him right there, as he wasn't able to fully grab and get the possession of it.
Passing it around the arc, and that's when the whistle will be blown. Coach Diener for the Hawks seemingly pretty upset over on his sideline. He's going to have to get it told to calm down a bit from a couple of the referees. He's got to be careful here. Referees having to push him all the way back to the bench.
On the last possession, he thought one of his guys was fouled, as it was just a dogfight, as some of his players and UINDY's players just hit the ground trying to get the rebound.
Whistles blow, so with that, teams will take a break. We'll join them as well here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Jake, who you got? Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on. Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Back at Nickerson Hall, you want to know what happened? Oh, no idea. They met for about 7-8 minutes at the replay review and still got nothing accomplished there. Greyhounds just came out with possession but missed the 3 from Jarvis Walker. There's no announcement. There's no technical or flagrant, so that's good. But they were going back to monitor a foul. The coach, Diener for the Hawks, begged them to go take a look at. They sat there for about a year and a half and still came away with nothing. Inside, how about this? A strong drive, and he's fouled. Jarvis Walker takes the heat. As we saw heading to the basket was Donna Kakushadze, and he can't make it fall. He'll head to the line. So far this year, an 83% free throw shooter.
So far, the third Rockhurst player in double figures right now for the team has kind of been really a nice guy down on the low end. Not afraid to get those rebounds as well, especially play on the defensive side too.
Gets that one to fall. So suddenly, back to double figures goes the lead. Greyhounds reeling here. Just 12 to go. Nickerson will be in. Facing a bit of pressure on defense from Jihad Thornton. Tynes going to come in mad, and look at that. Nice layup look. He can't get it to fall, though. Sure looked good on his right hand, but he couldn't make it go through. Here's Thornton, drives in, kicks out. The big man is fouled. David Ejah will send him, I believe, to the line, unless they're going to call that on the floor, but he was going up trying to make a shot. So sure enough, Rich Byer to the line.
What a nice spin move from Rich Byer, too.
So a 10-point lead for the Hawks. As Grayson Holt waits down on the sideline, and we'll hear what she has to say. Grayson, go ahead.
Coming off a loss from McKendree University, I don't think anyone expected the Hawks to come so strong, and it looks like they're here to end their losing streak with the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds. Watching the head coach, Paul Cassar, on the sidelines over here, you can see that they've been experimenting with plays. You know, he's over there, he's got his jacket off, he's rushing, he doesn't really know what to do. But I think he really wants to bridge this gap, stop going back and forth, you know, with that 53-43 lead. So we'll see what happens next here on GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, Giselle, how are the Greyhounds going to get back into this game and cut into this 10-point lead?
They really got to be careful from shooting from behind the arc. That is one of their biggest problems so far, as they've been 2 out of 19 so far. So they kind of been forcing up the shot a little bit here. They definitely have to slow down the play and try to analyze and get something good going instead of just forcing up just random shots. And that's when it comes to rebounding for sure. Rockhurst currently leads in that category, 29 against UINDY's 24, especially with the offensive rebounds and defense. So that's what the Greyhounds need to do in order to get this win and try to come back.
They're down by 12 now. That's the largest lead of this contest. Inside of 12 to go in the game. Around the arc goes the ball. Launching it to the corner, and it's a three from Nickerson, but he's too short. Front end of the iron. And boy, he's been a good 3-point shooter this year. Hitting half of his shots from there, but he can't get that one to go anywhere near.
He was so wide open, so just couldn't able to knock it down. Too short on that end.
Byra with the mismatch. He'll kick it out. Nice double team there. He'll come in, though, and lose the ball. Greyhounds get it. How about that, Ben Nickerson? Much shorter than the 6'5" Rich Byra, but he does a good job there.
Ben Nickerson not afraid to go against the team's star player right there, and that just proves how much of an impact he has on the Greyhounds.
Here's Robinson, thought about a three. Instead, Bingham's going to drive inside, and it rolls in and out. A heartbreaker for Jesse Bingham. Ties the team lead with 13, but he can't regain sole possession there. Greyhounds have done a good job shifting as we see a three there. Too strong from Byra. He gets his big frame up there trying to block the shot. Instead, in transition, Euro step and a miss. But they're going to call this one, appears as a goaltending. A little too much there. They'll say it was actually a foul. So make Walker earn it at the line, in which case he's done so good today. He's made all 3 of his free throws. He'll be there again.
Jarvis Walker leading all Indy players with 13. It's been kind of the, as I mentioned earlier, that's the guy really just the Greyhounds are now looking toward to help them carry this game out until the end.
They hit both. Good job burning it at the line. Walker makes those shots, and his reward, Giselle, he gets a little break. Head to the bench and take a drink as Kendrick Choa comes in his stead. Choa barking out orders from his center position.
Kendrick Choa came out earlier in the second half as he now has 3 personal fouls. So Coach Pizarro telling him to really just be careful on that end.
Another block from Bingham, his third. Now the aforementioned Choa sees a triple team and loses the ball, but the Greyhounds get the ball back. And they're a really dangerous play on offense. How about the Rockhurst defense, though, crashing in and making that triple team and force the ball out of bounds. An abbreviated clock for Indianapolis. Jesse Bingham kicks it out. Look at that, Walker, but it goes back to Bingham's hands. Great defense from Felici. This defense has looked amazing, and it continues here where the Greyhounds get the ball back. No, stolen away from Nick Arnsberg. And in transition, Arnsberg versus Robinson. Robinson gets the win and the rebound. His 5th rebound from the corner.
Wide open.
Couldn't be more open, couldn't be an easier shot. And it's worth 3 points for Josiah Tynes. Just his second made bucket of the day on 6 attempts. His first made 3 of the contest. He's tried 4 of them.
Hopefully with that 3-pointer and gets him the confidence he needs to carry out for the rest of this game.
Byra Choa. And it's the hook shot. It's the 6th rebound now for Robinson. He's a machine down there. Top 15 in the conference in rebounds. And boy, he's so good. 8th in defensive rebounds. around. Another corner shot, same as last time, but a different result as Williams can't get it to fall. Within 7. To make it 9 from the charity stripe. He can't. Rebound goes to Bingham. That's his 7th rebound. Greyhound's doing a great job rebounding, but look at this. All alone.
Jake Auer.
Jake Auer with the easiest bunny you'll ever see.
It's been kind of quiet so far in this second half. Only scoring his first 2 buckets here in the second half.
Coach Corsaro looks furious with that one. Not happy with the result. Regardless, we'll hear from Grayson Holt down on the sideline. Grayson, what do you have?
Tensions are really rising here on the court. You can see these players just going back and forth, trying to bridge this 10-point gap. We've got a 48-57 lead right now with Rockhurst in the lead, and it just seems like we're kind of stuck going back and forth with little under 8 minutes left. We'll see what the Greyhounds are going to do in this next half. Here on the GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Coach Corsaro trying to get his boys fired up, figuring out a way to get back into this game. And Giselle, I feel like we've said that the last 4 or 5 timeouts because it's just been a lot of back and forth action. Went to halftime. Rockhurst had an 11-point lead. Hasn't changed much since then.
Yeah, and at one point, UINDY was leading in the points category in the second half of 6-3, but now UINDY kind of losing a little bit of steam and easing off the gas pedal here. As they're just, you can tell right now, they're just pretty tired and kind of just frustrated right now. I like what Grayson, our sideline reporter, Grayson Holt said. Coach Corsaro has finally took off his jacket, so you know that means business for sure.
These home conference games, you can always expect Coach Corsaro to have the full suit on. Like you said, though, the stress warranted shedding it. Inside goes Bingham, and a foul called on the floor before he wound up. So count the foul against Tamarius Brown. It's going to be another timeout here, and we'll take it with him. Here, UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Jake, who you got? Tennessee, Georgia.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
The benches return back in order. The Greyhounds back to the floor. It's an inbound pass after Jesse Bingham was fouled by Tamarius Brown before the gather, so it's on the floor. That's what we're going to see right now. It's Greyhounds inbound it with Jesse Bingham coming inside, fighting mad, and he can't get it to go, but a rebound from Choa, and he makes the putback. Kendrick Choa with his 8th point and 5th rebound.
Just good look from Kendrick Choa, just getting that offensive rebound, recovering from Jesse Bingham's missed shot. That's just a reliable player you can rely on the low. both at the low ends.
Two leading scorers exchanging the ball. It's a mid-range J and miss from Jake Auer. You don't see that too often, but look at this. The putback is successful and one. Tamaris Brown. Look at this. Fights his way to the bucket and his way to the line.
It's that Chicago swag right there. The Chicago native now having 11 points right now. Ties third leading scorer for this Rockhurst team.
Third player in double figures for the Hawks, but he misses the rebound. Would have made it a double-figure deficit, but instead inside of 9. How about this? Robinson playing with his 4th foul. Still on the floor. Here's Bingham for 3, and he drains it.
There we go. We've mentioned it all night, Nathaniel. The Greyhounds have been really struggling from the three-point line, but kudos to Jesse Bingham to kind of stop that.
It's only their 4th made 3 of the game. That's half of what Rockhurst has, and they've done it in 5 more attempts. Here's a nice little spin inside, a nice jumper from mid-range, and Nick Arnsberg with a great one to kind of get the momentum a little bit back on Blue's side. Walker back out behind the arc. Here's a 2-on-1, and it's stolen away on the ground, fighting for it. Taken away. And now in transition, Walker's going to steal it, keep it in bounds.
Ooh.
The Hawks have it from 3, lethal, but he can't get it. Ours has gone cold after such a hot start. Now on the other end. Walker loses it again. This is so much chaos, and Paul Corsaro is outside of himself. Now, underneath the basket, a lot of contact, doesn't matter, 2 counts for Brown.
Coach Chisaro really upset about that last possession, but we're kind of on the edge of our seats, Nathaniel. That's what I call fun and exciting basketball.
It's a 10-point differential. He's now trying to make that within 8. He can't. Bounces around. Rebound goes to Auer. And I think the Greyhounds made the mistake on the last possession of trying to push the envelope, right? Because you didn't have numbers. It was a 3-on-5, and it was easy to get that steal. You can't slow the game down too much. Down double figures with just 5 to go as we hit inside of 5 minutes, but Greyhounds definitely need to be a little bit more patient, especially after all that chaos on defense. Inside, Brown has looked good of late, and he hits another one. His 15th point now. 4. I said it, 4 Rockhurst Hawks are in double-figure scoring, and still have 5 minutes to go. Here's Choa inside. A double team comes in again, and this time a foul. Disagreeing with it is Rich Beyer. Substitutions reign in. Coming into the game now, the starter, Jihad Thornton, as well as 6th man, Dante Kakushadze. Tynes inside, kicks out, and a foul. A little too much contact from the right arm of Jake Auer. He's from Iowa. You know who else is from Iowa? That's Upper Iowa University. Just joined the GLVC. It was announced this week. So they're going to begin playing in competition. The Peacocks will next fall. It's about an 8-hour drive from Indianapolis. So you add another team into the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Not a Great Lakes state, but about as far away as you can get and still be considered for the GLVC. Ooh. Look at this stuff. As it now goes in Rockhurst's favor, and now on the other end, a 1-on-1, a 3, and it is missed. Sure looked good, but there's nothing but net in the bad way. How about that block from Kukushadze now on the other end? It is a 2-pointer, a pretty impressive one. The strength from Choa.
Impressive spin move right there from Choa.
Trying to salt the game away. 4 to go, up 10 on the road. The 8-hour drive from Kansas City. Here's Rockhurst. Top of the key, thought about it. Back inside they go. Kukushadze's been hot. He kicks it out. Now with the open lane. Kukushazi can't get it to fall. Another rebound for Kendrick Choa. Look at all this contact and nothing's called. And Choa's pissed.
Very upset, very aggressive. I just love the way he just holds the ball and just like, this is mine, no one else's.
Walker can't hit the open three. That's Kendrick Choa's 7th rebound. He's done a good job just plucking those off the glass. Rich Beyer inside. Throws it up, hits the side of the backboard, and the rebound goes to Thornton. That's when the Greyhounds have to get on defense. They've been out-rebounded today. 36-34 is the numbers, and especially on defense. You look at it. 31 defensive rebounds for Rockhurst compared to just 23 for the Greyhounds.
And that's where the Greyhounds just fall short in that category. And without getting those defensive rebounds, it's hurting them in the long run.
The under 4 media timeout is upon us. That cues up a conversation with Grayson Holt. Grayson, what are you seeing down on the sideline?
With Rockhurst leading with a 65-55, we are still seeing this 10-point gap as the Greyhounds are just relentlessly fighting to keep this ball in bounds, trying to save themselves time to put so much effort in this game. With just a few minutes left, we will see if the Greyhounds can redeem themselves and walk away with this win today. Stay tuned here on GOVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here in Nickerson Hall as the lights are going to start to go out on the Greyhounds if they can't get something going on offense.
The Greyhounds just really just struggling here. 10. Rockhurst currently leads by 10 and doesn't kind of give the Greyhounds a bit of time to really tie things up or even at this point get the lead.
From the line is the man who possesses 11 points to his name today. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. Been an all-around good day. Off the bench, the 6th man, the sophomore Donna Kukushazi. She can add another point to his total. That's Walker's 2nd foul. He's a bonus. He's got the ball now. Going to drive inside. This defense doing such a good job guarding the interior, but a little too much contact there as Jarvis Walker heads to the line. A perfect 5 of 5. He's got 15 points. From the free throw line, Walker puts up his first of 2 and he drains it. So far on the year, he's an 86% free throw shooter, so he has a track record of hitting a high number of these. He does a good job there. 2nd in a pair. That one rattles out. It's a miss, but the Greyhounds get the rebound. Here's best case scenario. Hit a 3. They're going to try it. Instead, driving inside with plenty of traffic, and he's fouled. So instead of hitting that 2nd free throw, they miss it, but they get the rebound. Another chance at 2 more.
That was all thanks to David Ejaw trying to get the ball from the baseline, found its way in the hands of Jesse Bingham, and Jesse Bingham doing what he does best.
Could be an unconventional 3-point play, right? They hit the first free throw, miss the 2nd, and now Bingham trying to convert 3 points on the possession. Here's his 2nd of 2.
And just by looking at this Greyhound bench, you can see there's starting to become a little bit more positivity here as they feel like they could make this comeback. They could possibly escape with this win here.
Within 7. Here's the offense of the Hawks. Beyer guarded by Eja. Eja's been having a good weekend. Inside, reach and foul. I don't agree with that one, but it looks like they're going to call Jesse Bingham. Never mind. They're going to call David Eja with that one. His second foul. Team's 8th. We've seen a different team coming out when it comes to fouls out of halftime. Didn't see a lot of personals from the Greyhounds first half, but suddenly they have 8 team fouls. That's the second one for Eja.
And now the Rockhurst Hawks using that to their advantage to try to escape here with a win here today.
Byra hits his first. It's his 13th point. This is his 9th free throw ahead of him. He's been perfect today from the line. Greyhounds have been fouling him. He's doing a great job drawing the contact. And he just gets yet another trip to the line. Having to hurry now. You're down by 9. Walker facing this tough interior defense, and he can't get it to go. Long rebound, tracked down by Arnsberg. He'll step it back and try to take some time off this clock. Look at this, a foul. It's a blocking foul. Didn't get his feet set to David Eja. He picks up his quick third. Second in a row. And running over him was an offensive player, and Tamarius Brown. So with that, the whistles blow, and we step aside. GLVC Sports Network and UINDY TV.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
As we return, the Greyhounds in dire straits. Just 103 seconds to go in the game here at home. It's been a bit of a contrast here. The Greyhounds undefeated at home this year. Rockhurst winless on the road, but they've kind of flip-flopped here. Rockhurst has led since the 10-minute mark of the first half. They're not trying to relinquish this lead here. They're playing great on the road for a change. Bingham tracks down a loose ball. He's going to have to kick it out. Here's Robinson for 3, and it's just off the mark. It's been the big difference today. The Greyhounds' second best team in the conference when it comes to three-point shooting, but today they just have not been able to. They come into the year 40% from downtown. Today, though, they're only being able to shoot 16% from behind that elusive arc.
Which is something very unlikely you definitely see from this Greyhound team. They're just forcing up a lot of these shots, or they're just coming up too short, or just way too strong off the iron.
The final 92 seconds are next.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Back here at Nickerson Hall. they reviewed the play. They're trying to see where possession went. It did stay with the Greyhounds, so here we are. Going to kick it out. Robinson loses the ball. He thought Bingham was going to step back. Instead, Bingham charged in, and that led to another turnover. Just the 8th of the game for Indianapolis. They've done a good job protecting the ball. They just haven't done a good job getting shots to sink. That's why the team that averages 73 points only has 58.
Ooh, David Ejaw.
Oh, you hate to see that.
Oof.
Ejaw goes down. We'll step aside. Here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Jarvis Walker goes down hard, gets up and walks off on his own power. He will be attended to by the training staff. Has 16 points today. Very impressive from him. 4 of 8 from the field. Has hit 2 from downtown. 6 free throws, 3 rebounds, but his day probably ends. Doesn't seem too serious. He's, again, able to be up and walking around on his own power. Getting kind of his right side tended to that right midsection. But you got to imagine the final minute, 14, probably does not belong to Jarvis Walker. Sean Craig comes in relief. Basically, the hope is Craig can come in and get hot from downtown, hit 3 or 4 from down there. Craig's in the corner now, shoots a 3, but airballs it. It's the opposite of what we thought we would see from Craig. He's not having the best day, right? 0 of 4 from 3. That is completely opposite of what we've seen from the freshman so far this year. He shoots 65% from downtown, but today there's been a lid on the basket. A couple of these haven't been close.
You can tell he's just really, and I can tell by just looking at him, he just looks really, really tired. He's not able to really kind of just fully see and fully get down those shots. But I want to go back to Jarvis Walker because his previous career high was 12 points, and he kind of has a new career high now with 16 points. So congrats to him.
Bruno Williams hits the triple. That's just his second made bucket. He's tried 10 shots. Whistles blow there with another late foul. 8 seconds separate the 2 clocks. That'll be the first one called against Jesse Bingham, and of course with the team that's the 5th one called against Jacoby Robinson. He will foul out. Only had 4 points, but he had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Unfortunately, 5 personal fouls, so his day will end 38 seconds prematurely. At the line for a couple, Nico Felici, double bonus, so even though he's on the floor on the opposite end, he gets to march his way over and hit a couple. He shoots just under 70% on the season from the charity stripe. Williams going to come in and kick it back out. Eja can't get it to fall. Another missed 3. It's been the story today. Second foul for Bruno Williams. Yet another time where Felici can march down and hit a couple free throws on the other end of the floor.
And Nico Felici went to Mid-Plains Community College, was college all-conference first team, transfer from Bellevue West, coming into his first season with the Hawks.
Couple free throws successful. Shot clock turns off. Williams from downtown, and he misses another one, his 11th shot. He's only hit 2.
That will be all she wrote.
Walk it his way down victory lane. The Hawks will advance to 500 at 4-4. The Greyhounds fall victim to their second loss of the year. First one came in their opening GLVC game on last Saturday. The second loss occurs here in front of a home crowd. And how about this? 18 points from Jack Auer, 15 points from Tamarius Brown, 14 from the guy we thought was going to be the big factor. He averages 19 at 14 today. And Rich Byer, of course, did miss a bit of time to injury, but not quite what we thought.
And the surprising player for me is Dati Kushazi with 11 points off the bench. Only averages about 8.
Let's head down to the floor with Grayson Holt and Coach Corsaro.
All right, I'm here with head coach Paul Corsaro. So this was a very tight game. The Greyhounds fought hard. What is your team going to do to regain that win streak that you had?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, it's okay. I'll ask it again. This was a very tight game. The Greyhounds fought super hard, going back and forth. What is your team going to do in practice to regain that win streak?
You know what? We just didn't guard. And guys are going to have to figure out that if they want to play, they're going to have to be able to guard their man. And that's going to be the focus, is guarding your man one-on-one.
And the Greyhounds play Christian Brothers University Tuesday. What are some positives from this game that you're going to take into Tuesday?
We lost, so we should be upset.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
I'm here with GLVC Network, UINDY TV.
Thanks a lot, Grayson. And we appreciate Coach Corsaro's time with that interview as well. Nathaniel Finch here with Giselle Valentine. Giselle, the main reason the Greyhounds lost today was?
Just could not get anything going from the three-point range. A lot of missed shots, a lot of missed opportunities. 5 of 29 overall. Very unlikely from the Greyhounds, and especially with the rebounding as well. Rockhurst definitely takes the cake with that, especially on the defensive side. 35 to UINDY's 26. And like Coach Corsaro, you can see the frustration. They just did not guard all together. This was a team they previously beat in the previous match, and it's someone who they should have defeated today, but it just didn't work in their favor.
Again, they allow 4 players in double figures. Giselle, give me your player of the game.
Definitely for me, when it comes to Rockhurst, definitely Jake Auer for sure. We thought, as you mentioned, we thought it was going to be Richard Breyer who was going to be the main guy, but it was Jake all along. 18 points, really just shooting light from downtown, and just proving of how good of an offensive player he is.
You see the game stats there, not quite in the favor of Indianapolis. An uncharacteristically poor shooting day from downtown. That'll do it for this broadcast of UINDY basketball. Bit of a layoff, but the Greyhounds will host here in a couple weeks against Judson. So they have a road trip to Memphis on Tuesday, St. Louis on Sunday. Then they'll have that game on December 13th. We will have the coverage right here on UINDY TV. For our camera operators and Leah Williams and Liam Blaze, as well as Rick Dunkel on game camera today, we've got our director in Derek Jones, Sam Gailey, and Brandon Barger over on graphics. Thank you to our entire crew here today for UINDY TV. The final score, 71 Rockhurst, 61 Indianapolis. For our sideline reporter, Grayson Holt, Mike Keller, commentator, and boy, it was a pleasure to call the game with you, Giselle. Giselle Valentine, and I'm Nathaniel Finch, signing off from Nickerson Hall.